and the fans are right on the action. The experience too for someone that goes and buys a ticket is just as exciting from a fan's perspective as it must be for these fighters. But you're right though, this is buttoned up, professional, high quality. We're getting some great guys too, and we're seeing a lot of some of the men and women from our Cage Wars promotion making that next step, that next level. That's what it's all about, getting your feet wet here, bringing it to another cage somewhere if the opportunity arises.
Absolutely. We were just talking to Al Morrow before we went on the air, and he said he's looking to make his pro debut in CFFC in March. I'm going to make the trip for that one. I'm sure of that.
I'll never forget that. That was the fight night we did down at the Plaza with Mike Tyson, and that was a show-stopping performance by him that night.
That was so emotional for Al because he has those connections to Mike Tyson through his coach. I mean, he said to me before the fight that it meant so much, and then for him to perform the way he did and have the reaction from Mike to him. Mike wanted to shake his hand. Mike called him over to the table just to shake his hand. For a guy like Al, that meant the world.
And that's what you talk about. You talk about what Cage Wars is able to bring to the sport. Big stuff.
So right now we have a new guy here coming from Brian Bury Jiu-Jitsu, Anthony Miner. This is an interesting division. This is the cruiser heavyweight division. This is something that technically doesn't exist in the pros right now. Really in the pros goes light heavyweight 205 to heavyweight 206 to 264.9. That's ridiculous.
Right.
A cruiserweight division at 225 is more realistic.
This is the one, right, that's being debated all the time about.
Yes, because you have guys, there's no super heavyweight in the pros, so you have guys cutting down from 310 pounds to hit 264 that are fighting guys that walk at 230. It's almost unrealistic at this point. Right now we got Wausa Onigbanjo making his way to the cage. Another 0-0 gentleman. Both these guys were excited at the weigh-ins last night. They were confident. They were ready, very respectful to one another. Wausa Onigbanjo is out of Springfield Submission Society. Again, Anthony Miner out of Brian Bury Jiu-Jitsu. So really, I expect both these young men to have excellent ground acumen. And the difference may be what they bring on the feet.
Miner's a big guy, and I'm not seeing.
Onigbanjo's a big guy too. He's not as tall, but he's stocky.
Oh, these guys are some bangers here too. Yes. You think this is going to be more of a ground?
No, they're both coming from really good ground schools.
Gotcha.
So the difference in the fight may be the stand-up. A lot of times when two people are really good grappling, they kind of negate each other, or really good striking, they kind of negate each other. So it tends to fall into a different category of a difference maker.
I see a wild swinging contest. I have no idea what to expect. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
We're going to bring it up to Mike Falvo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next contest on the card for Cage Wars 54 is in our cruiser heavyweight division, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in yesterday 226 pounds, representing Brian Bury Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out of Watervliet, New York, Anthony Miner. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in yesterday 224 pounds, representing the Springfield Submission Society. Out of Springfield, Massachusetts, Wausa Onigbanjo. And the man in charge of the action when that door closes, Mr. Laszlo Huve.
Taller of the two, having a better length. But Onigbanjo sneaks that right hand in there.
I don't think Miner liked that very much.
Well, if you notice, they were both in southpaw stances there in that moment. And that can really throw your angle off.
Absolutely.
Oh, pushing Miner back
once again,
into the cage.
Right in front of us. And Miner looks at Onigbanjo and says, okay, I tasted your best shot. Let's go.
And Onigbanjo seems like he's okay with, scoring, getting back out, re-engaging. Nice left hand at the top of the head.
And you could see, too, Will, the different levels in competition, and not to take anything away from these two men, but appears to be a little bit on the green side when it comes to their striking.
And again, coming from jiu-jitsu schools,
Yep.
but again, 0-0, and striking live in a fight is also a lot different than hitting pads, hitting a bag, even sparring a lot of times. Minor's got him against the cage here.
And we won't be able to see any of the ground and pound, not for this particular.
To the face.
To the face.
You can knee to the body, you can punch to the body, just no punching to the face. Minor trying to use his head to create some pressure to Onigbanjo.
Minor doing a nice job, too, of getting a little bit of the control there along the cage.
He is delivering a few knees. And right now, Onigbanjo just turning. Nice with that underhook to that knee. Oh, he's grabbing the cage. Lazo Juve right there. Minor says, oh, okay. Nice job with these underhooks by both these gentlemen. Wow, good sprawl by Onigbanjo.
With 1 minute and 15 left to go in the round.
Guard.
Yeah, this could be how the round ends, perhaps with Onigbanjo on top of Minor.
Now, Minor digging that underhook. He's trying to come out the backside. Again, both these gentlemen know the basic ideas of what they should be doing live, which, is much more difficult than it may seem at home.
Now, what should Onigbanjo be trying to do now here when you watch him work his ground game here?
Try to get that underhook back from Minor, because right now Minor's got that his right arm under Onigbanjo's left arm trying to make something happen. Try to get some better control. We hear Minor talking to the referee about something. Not sure what. 30 seconds left. Right now, Onigbanjo's controlling. Minor's trying to move side to side, but Onigbanjo's staying on top.
I almost feel like if Onigbanjo just kind of if he pulled back, he could create some leverage. But the thing is, though, there's no head strike.
You can't punch to the face, exactly. So posturing up doesn't always benefit you in a novice rules fight.
And I think you have to remember that when you're watching some of the novice fights. It wouldn't benefit.
Minor doing a nice job, though, getting to the hip, getting out to the side, but just a little bit too late. That's the end of round one. And again, I'm curious to see what Minor was talking to the referee about.
Well, maybe we could perhaps, and it happened right at the initial takedown, correct?
When he was on the ground, I just happened to notice he was talking to the referee, and I couldn't quite decipher what it was about.
He could have been talking about. It could have been an extended conversation from grabbing the cage, perhaps. I don't really know.
And this is a great opportunity, quick, to touch on the scoring, because scoring has become a hot button topic, especially in the pros lately. Knowledge is power, and I think fans at home need to know that there is a unified MMA rule set and a scoring criteria that these fights are scored by.
But it's so difficult, though, because we're all watching it from different angles, different objectives.
But there is criteria.
Right.
There's not different objectives. So what happens is effective striking and effective grappling. If it goes 1-1, then it goes to cage control and aggression. So damage doesn't matter. I keep hearing this word thrown around, even by Joe Rogan. Damage does not matter anymore. Each round is in itself its own fight and judged as such. The fans at home need to understand that, and it will make much more sense. Now, granted, sometimes judges just get it wrong. But knowing that criteria makes all the difference.
Well, thank you for that explanation. And I think Onigbanjo here is off to a little bit of a faster start. Minor, though, has done a great job of stemming the tide here. At times it seemed like Minor may have been overmatched, but he's right here in this fight.
Well, it's very different styles on the feet. Minor's a little bit more flat-footed, looking for a little bit more power shots. Onigbanjo's a little bit more bouncy. You see him coming in, coming out. But there's some opportunities there. If Minor can change a level when Onigbanjo comes in and is really heavy on that front leg, if he can change that level, scoop that front leg, he's got a takedown. Onigbanjo just doing a good job keeping some distance, throwing those legs up, creating angles. Minor's got double unders. What can you do with them? Turning them, right to that takedown.
Minor just looks like one of these guys.
Oh, but Onigbanjo, nice job.
Yeah, that was a terrific job to reverse that. But I wanted to give Minor some credit because he's a guy that's going to grind. He's not going to stop. He looks like one of these guys who lives in the gym, and he's tough. He's, we would like for him, obviously he wants to sit down on his punches. He's got a tremendous amount of natural power, but that's just all going to come with some time and more experience.
And now if you look, he's actually in his own corner. So although he's on his back in guard, his coaches are giving him instruction. That's always a great place to be if you can by your coaches. Oh. See, Onigbanjo, he's okay with engaging, re-engaging, stepping back.
Onigbanjo could have kept working the body on the ground, decided to let him up. I don't know that tactically that's the right move here.
Well, he must see something on the feet. He feels something, he sees something that he thinks this is his fastest way to victory.
To me, it looks like it's the only way he could get clipped.
You know, but at this point, how much is really on Minor's punches? You know, and maybe Onigbanjo's feeling that. You know, after almost 2 rounds, I mean, it just drains you.
1 minute to go in the round, where Miller may.
Minor.
Minor.
Nice
may,
takedown.
Great job.
Looking for that arm.
That is a huge turning point of round number 2. In essence.
And Onigbanjo flat on his belly. He does not want to be there. That's the last place he wants to be.
Just a tremendous job by Minor to stay in this fight.
He's looking
and
to get
take
under
control.
that neck. Can he? Is it a neck crank? Can he get the choke? Tough target. Oh, good job by Onigbanjo. Less than 30 seconds left.
Continue to work the body. Great job by Minor.
See, and again, if this was full rules, you could hit the head. There you go.
15 seconds.
Onigbanjo, good job reversing.
Great job by Onigbanjo. Now he's got to be careful. You can't strike the head.
Nope, he just missed it.
That was a great round.
Wow, that was a great round.
That was a great round.
Hey, if you ask me, it all comes down to this 3rd round. Who wants this?
That is a great round here. Our second fight of the night, Will.
One of these gentlemen have to come out here and win this round decisively to take this fight.
I would say that momentum is certainly on Minor's side, but we can't discredit Onigbanjo at all, because what he was able to do was he took
Ladies
his
and
over the last
gentlemen,
20
this is
seconds.
our
of the
third
round.
and
You
final
see him
round.
looking for Onigbanjo's arm. Onigbanjo rolls over to the belly, but then if you notice, he kind of just lays there. So Anthony's going to transition to the back, stepping over. Onigbanjo's not moving.
Well, at this point, absolutely. It looked like he was defenseless. He's taking a couple of shots.
Well, and as you'll notice as the replay goes on, he's waiting for his opportunity to move, and both these gentlemen have very good awareness on the ground in terms of center of gravity, when the right time to move is, and he will get out here if the replay ended too soon.
And more than likely, we enter the 3rd round,
Tied
probably
1-1.
probably deadlocked.
But again, as we touched on, really, judges do get it wrong. So just because there's criteria, you never know. That's why every coach is going to tell you, don't leave it to them. Minor coming out with a sense of urgency. I like it.
I love this kid. I really do.
You know what I love? I was in the elevator with him earlier. He had a Hawaiian shirt on. I just love that. Fight day, he's in a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, there is a sense of cool and calm and relaxed, and he's been that way for the entire fight.
See, he does a good job getting to the hip. He's trying to create some space, get to the side.
Now, Minor being the bigger guy, doesn't it feel like, when I'm watching this, I feel like he can just throw.
Well, he's got
his
longer
opponent
legs
off him.
and longer arms, so you're able to create more leverage, especially if you do a good job with your hips like he is. But again, Onigbanjo, let's not take anything away from him. He does a good job staying on top. Even if he's not really delivering hellacious ground and pound to the body, he's still staying on top and gaining control time in the round.
All that work to get back into the fight by Minor. You don't want to let it slip away now.
No, I mean, really, we're a minute into this 3rd round, and really the judges, all they've seen so far is Onigbanjo on top. Now, again, he's looking to control the arm. He's trying to make something happen, but you've only got 3-minute rounds. It's not like the pros where you've got that 5 minutes to work with. See, again, he's getting out to the hip. He's doing the right things, but Onigbanjo just coming back in, closing that distance, creating some down pressure. He's making it ugly with that forearm in the throat. That's always uncomfortable.
And again, if you're just tuning in and watching, it's novice rules, meaning no striking to the head for ground and pound. None of that. Body, okay.
But you can make it miserable for him while they're down there.
And that's what he's doing. He's mucking it up right now.
I've had coaches in the past that say it doesn't matter if someone has you in their guard, just make their life miserable so they don't want to be there.
Can you make an argument for a stand-up here?
Oh, and Laszlo
like
Huve, again, great referee. Laszlo's been doing this for well over 10, 15 years.
And this is
amazing.
good. There's a minute left to go. Let these guys settle it right now once and for all. That
Nice
was a
kick. Oh,
great
good
kick.
job with the catch. Good sprawl. Onigbanjo's done a really nice job sprawling tonight. Onigbanjo says, get up.
I thought Minor had more in the tank. I think he may have emptied it in round number 2. And here comes Onigbanjo.
Oh!
And that's a knockdown. And that was an illegal strike, by the way. Not sure it's going to matter. Not saying that it was or wasn't.
That's tough, though, because he was falling down. That's one of those kind of things.
Well, he should have at least gotten warned for it.
Well, you know, I was a referee for like 10 years. It is tough in that moment.
Well, you should have warned him in that moment, sir.
Listen, I can think of fights that I've reffed where I've made mistakes. It happens.
Well, I ain't messing with you. I'm allowed 1 shot a night.
Onigbanjo is going to close this round out on top.
And that's a good win for Onigbanjo because I'll tell you, he let it slip away in round number 2. But a very competitive fight from beginning to end, both these men.
You know, I really look forward to seeing Anthony Minor out here again because he's got really good jiu-jitsu.
So
he's got good awareness. He's a tough guy.
I think he's got to work a little bit on technique. He appears to have the heart, and he's a big guy. He's strong.
Excellent ground skills. I think that with that length, that if he can work on his teeps and his jabs to really maximize that length to complement his ground game, it will really help round out his game.
And the striking is something that you work on. You work on the striking, work on the striking.
Well, and again, they're coming from jiu-jitsu schools that have striking. That's like if you come from a striking school that has jiu-jitsu, you end up having to work jiu-jitsu. The Dr. Michael Sheridan checking in on Minor. Minor says, I'm fine. Here we go, Laszlo Huve up into the ring. We're waiting to get the judge's decision. Right now, I got to go 2-1 for Onigbanjo.
I would say probably all 3 judges have a 2-1, but you never know.
We're going to bring it up to Mike Falvo for the official announcement. All right, maybe I lied. The judges are still working it out.
Always feels like whenever there's an instant replay that takes a little longer than you think, that sometimes something funky's going on.
Yeah, I know that they double and triple check the scorecards.
It should be pretty cut and dry.
Well, but in the past, I've worked shows where judges have accidentally scored them flip-flop on the cards.
Right.
So crazy things happen.
I think we're ready.
And how about a nice round of applause for these 2 great warriors, ladies and gentlemen. And after 3 hard-fought rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges have scored the fight in favor of your winner by way of unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Wausa, Onigbanjo.
You know, so the judges saw it as we did, and you know what, Minor, a great show of respect. He kind of knew it in his heart. You know, that's what you really like to see. You like to see that good sportsmanship. You know he's going to learn from this and come back better.